Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing today? It's Tuesday, November 7th, year 2023, and I'm Mazske Finance coming to you from south of the United States. Yep, financial independence can help you do whatever you want, kind of, sort of. Depends on if you're lean FI, you got normal financial independence, or fat financial independence. Now, don't worry too much about getting up here. As long as you make it to lean financial independence, you're okay. And if you're working while you're lean financial independent, it helps you even that much more. So anyway, with that being said, I'm Mazske Finance. I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a financial advisor, I am not a doctor or a nutritionist. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about vacation homes. But before I get to that, I'm going to throw out some health tidbits just briefly. So bear with me. If you're interested in learning about vacation homes, stick with me for the next several minutes. I'm going to talk about something that could revolutionize your health. This doesn't matter if you're already somewhat healthy or if you are on the path to being obese with diabetes and heart problems and high blood pressure and so on and so on. Just a few simple changes. Okay, so that being said, we'll get started. First of all, like always, I am drinking my daily cup of green tea. I may have a couple more cups today. It all depends on what I get into today. It's hard to get into something though because the protests are still going on here in the country of Panama where I am. And it makes it a little bit harder to get out and about. All right, so with that being said, what am I talking about when I say something that can revolutionize your health? Let me know if you currently consume any of these on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, or occasionally. All right, so that being said, a broad category of something that probably has the most bang for the buck, in being a healthy person. Broad category, leafy greens. What do I mean by leafy greens? Maybe you're thinking about, let me eat a salad. Okay, you're heading in the right direction. Then salads are good. All depends on what you put in there. All right, but let me get more specific on the best of the best. So if you can incorporate these into your diet, they're the best of the best. Okay? First of all, arugula. Arugula, if you go to your local supermarket, you will probably find it in the salad section. You may find salads that contain arugula, A-R-G-U-L-A, arugula, may not be pronouncing it right, or you may find a plastic container or a bag of arugula being sold separately. It does have a sort of a bitter taste if you've never had it before. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, number two, I'm sure you've had this at some point in your life, Popeye's favorite food, spinach. All right, you got spinach. Then you got another leafy green, Swiss chard. I used to get Swiss chard quite a bit when I lived in Virginia. The local farmer's market, one farmer in particular, always had Swiss chard, and I'd buy it probably on a weekly basis. All right, I had a special recipe where I cooked up in. All right, another one is beets and beet greens. All right, some people call it beetroot, I think they call it. Beets, I grew up calling it beets. I did not like beets as a kid. All right, so you got beets and beet greens. Beet greens are the green leafy part of the beet. You can buy in the supermarket, perhaps, because I can find them here in Panama too. I can find them in Florida. I can find them in Virginia. I can find beets, like what I would call beets, just the bulb, the red. It's very dark red. I can find the greens attached to them. I can find the greens separated. I can find cans of whole beets, cut up beets, diced beets, sliced beets, etc., etc., etc. And along in that same category, but slightly different, but still in the same category, kind of, sort of, are fennel seeds. Fennel seeds you can buy. I found them in a pharmacy here in Panama. Okay, they're not as commonly found, but you do a search, you can find them. Fennel seeds, you can just munch on a small handful of them or maybe throw them in something you're eating, okay, because they have a lot of bang for the buck. All right, that broad category, what those specifically provide is nitrate, nitric, I might not be saying it correctly, but it's good for you. And your body converts it to nitric oxide. Remember, I'm not a doctor or nutritionist. All right, nitric oxide. That helps with a lot of things. It provides you fiber. That rich nitrate helps slow glucose absorption. It helps feed your gut microbiome. It helps with overall digestion. which then helps to lower your blood pressure as well. I'll give you an example. If you eat these, say you have a sweet potato, because you've heard sweet potatoes are healthy, which they are, but sweet potatoes will also increase your glucose. If you have a continuous glucose monitor on, I wore one up in Florida for a bit, you will see a curve. It's a normal curve response of the glucose increasing in your blood within 2 to 3 hours. If you eat your sweet potato and then eat one of those leafy greens, you will still see the curve, but the curve will be reduced. So you won't have as much of a rise, as much of a spike. But if you eat the leafy greens first, and this is according to a doctor, a nutritionist doctor, I watched a webinar, he said this, so I'm repeating what he said. If you eat the leafy greens first, you'll have the lower curve, and it will keep the sweet potato glucose spike reduced because you ate it first, and it keeps your small intestine busy, let's say. All right. So with that being said, another quick category, leafy greens as well, slightly different. You know these as well. So include these in the category. These are good in a different way. They're also, it's one of the best of the best. You've heard of these. Kale, collard greens, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. What do these do for you? You've heard about this. Back in the 80s or the 90s, broccoli, it came out, broccoli was like king of the hill. It's the best vegetable. There'd be people eating broccoli. But it's part of a diverse diet. All these things I've said, you don't just focus on one. Try to incorporate all of them into your diet. Not every day, not every single one of these every day. One a day perhaps. Arugula today, spinach tomorrow, Swiss chard, beets, and then kale, broccoli, cauliflower, etc., etc., etc. And that includes broccoli sprouts. Okay, you can grow your own broccoli sprouts. I haven't done it yet, I need to, but you can do it. The kale, collard greens, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, they help provide sulfur. Sulfur will help your liver to detoxify. How many of you have been told you have fatty liver disease? How many of you may have it and don't even know it? Probably a lot if you eat the standard American diet. All right. So, and if you don't like any of these things I said, because you don't like the taste, because if you haven't been eating them, you probably won't like the taste of a lot of these. They can be slightly bitter or have a different taste to them. Now, if you just start eating them, your taste buds will change. But if you're lazy, like a lot of people are, and you want an easy way to eat them, make a smoothie. Get a blender. Put in your favorite fruit, your strawberries, your berries, your whatever you put in there. Throw in some kale, throw in some ice, throw in some spinach. Don't overwhelm it with the greens, but put some in. You drink the smoothie, you get a little bit of everything quickly into your body. Maybe when you make a daily smoothie, if you want to go that route, today you put in arugula, tomorrow you put in kale, you put in spinach, you put in some broccoli, etc., etc., etc. Just incorporate these into your diet, along with the green tea, along with some nuts, along with some seeds, along with other vegetables and fruits that I haven't named. All right, so that being said, let me flip a page over. Vacation homes, vacation rentals. Have you considered buying a rental and making it an Airbnb or a VRBO? Okay, I've thought about it for a couple of years. I'm now actually doing it. My house in Florida has become an Airbnb/VRBO. I have gotten multiple reservations, bookings for Airbnb, and one so far for VRBO. I've been told Airbnb normally does better. You'll get more bookings from Airbnb, but you'll still get some from VRBO. Okay? What are the pros and cons of vacation homes? You got to look at your market. Like always, you got to look at your buy price. See, my house in Florida, I already owned it. I was living in it for a couple of years. Okay, so if I was buying it as a vacation home, I got it at a pretty good price, but I might have tried to get it at even a better price. But yet, I got it at a good price. Okay, but when you do that, look at a couple different things. Do you live in that area? Do you live in, as an example, I used to live in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. Could you make a house in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia a vacation home? You can make a house anywhere into a vacation home or a condo or apartment But how well will it do? That's the unknown. So go to a local real estate meetup group. Find out if others have Airbnbs, because I guarantee somebody does. Find out how they're doing. Then figure out what kind of niche do you want. Millennial Mike, he's a friend of mine. He has a duplex out in Washington. He put half of it, he lives on one side, he's house hacking. The other side he made into a 90s style Airbnb. He has VHS tapes, he has cassettes, he has 90s posters, 90s decor, etc., etc., etc. My house in Florida, I have a guy helping me. His niche is he wants to make it a luxury type home. He's marketing it overall, kind of. His intent is to market it for millennials who do not have a lot of money, who want to live the life of luxury for a couple days, a week or two, or however long. Okay, so he transformed my very nice house in South Florida into a, in quotes, a luxury type house. The floor is beautiful. He put new tile floor down. It's been painted. He completely, remember my office where I used to make videos? It's now a bedroom. It's a 4-bedroom house, 2-bathroom, with a swimming pool. I had resurfaced that pool with a dock, with a tiki hut, with a boat lift. And the decor in it is stunning. It has a selfie wall. It's beautiful. If you want me to put a link in one of my videos sometime, let me know and I'll put a link to it in some future video. So if you want to stay there, you can stay in Mazske Finances, Airbnb sometime. All right, but how's my Airbnb done? Because that's the unknown. Millennial Mike made a video on his channel, or he has one coming, where he talked about his first month as an Airbnb. Today's Tuesday, I've had 1 week as an Airbnb. It went live last Monday. Today is the following Tuesday. In that week, I've had 3 different guests so far. I had my first guest last Friday night. I had my second guest Saturday night. I got my third guest that checked in yesterday, and they're staying for 4 nights. They check out on Friday. I have another guest coming in Friday night. Saturday night, they check out on Sunday. Okay. I have another guest later in November. I have multiple guests in December. One for 12 nights starting just after Christmas going into January. Another for 2 nights, 3 nights, 2 nights. February, I got a 5-night booking. March, I got it 1 night. April, I got it 1 night. Prices where I'm at, wintertime in South Florida is high season. It's when the snowbirds come. It's when people want to escape the cold from up north and come down to South Florida. So in the wintertime, my prices are higher. I'll give you an example. There are people paying now somewhere from $250 to $350 per a night. It all depends on the day of the week, the weekday, weekend, etc., etc., etc. As the bookings get into the wintertime, prices go up. There's people paying $400 a night. There's people paying $580 a night. There's people paying $700 a night. Okay? So you got to look at your own market, because my market in Florida is not your market wherever you're at. Okay, maybe your market, the best time is summertime. Maybe wintertime slows down. Maybe you have it great in the summertime and in the wintertime, because maybe you have skiing in the winter and mountain hiking in the summer, or beach in the summer, whatever it may be. Okay, so you got to look at your own market. But things you got to look at. If you don't live there, you got to pay a property manager. Vacation property managers typically charge more than property managers do at a regular long-term rental. Okay, my property manager in South Florida is charging me 15%. Other property managers in South Florida may charge 20%. At some point in the past, I had called somewhere in North Carolina, I think, or Georgia, about buying a vacation condo, and I was told something like 25%. Okay, and I had run the numbers and be like, ooh, that's a big cut. Okay, so you got to look at that. You got to factor in, if it's a vacation rental, you now have to pay all expenses. You have to pay electricity. You have to pay maybe water, sewer, natural gas, internet. You got to pay these. If my house was a rental, long-term rental, I wouldn't pay those expenses. My tenant would pay those expenses. Okay, so I got to pay my property manager. I got to pay those expenses. Also, comparing it to a long-term rental, If someone's staying in my house for 12 months, there should be less wear and tear. If someone's staying in my house for 2 days, checking out, and someone else coming for 2 days, checking out, and someone's coming for 5 days, checking out, and someone's coming for 12 days, and checking out, there might be more wear and tear. But you don't have people carrying furniture in and out because I've already furnished a house. So I will learn how my house performs as more time goes on. I'm 1 week into it. The gentleman helping me, he manages other Airbnbs in that area. He has told me several times that my Airbnb is getting bookings quicker than any of his others. So he expects my Airbnb will do better than his others. My Airbnb, my house is on a Gulf access canal. So if someone has a boat and it's not too big and they want to bring their boat to my Airbnb, they can rent the boat lift. And they can park their boat in their backyard and drive one out to the Gulf of Mexico if they so desire, but they do have to pay for that boat lift and the house. Okay? So that being said, get a little healthier, because what's the point of getting financially independent if you're going to fall over dead from a heart attack, or if you are going to start getting dementia, or if you're going to start getting diabetes, or if you're on some kind of medication? Are you currently on medication? I don't care how old you are. Are you currently on medication? Do you have to be? Can you change your diet and get off that medication? Odds are, yes, you can. I can't guarantee that. I'm not a doctor, and I don't know exactly what you have, but for 90 to 95% of the people out there on medication, if they want to, they could probably get off that medication. Their doctor may tell them they'll never get off of it, but if they want to, they can change their lifestyle. And it's more than just diet. It's incorporating exercise. It's incorporating sleeping correctly, living correctly, minimizing stress. All of it. It's all connected. I've said it many times with investing. It's all connected. If everybody can just slow down a little bit, get off the electronic devices, just learn how to breathe deep, learn how to save a little bit of money, not to frivolously spend it, learn how to live healthy, and maybe, just maybe, you will see the United States of America and the global population reducing its waist size as time goes on. And maybe some of you out there, your wallet will get a little fatter as time goes on. All right, so that being said, I got to wrap this up. It's gotten too long. It's going to take me a long time to upload. Have a great day. Mazke's signing out.